Greetings, hello, welcome to Deadhaus Whispers. This is Calypso. I am Faceless Mike, and we're going to see if we can get a podcast going for Deadhaus.
Yes, and hopefully we can, and it will be fantastic. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, people who are joining in and watching, and all the goodness that comes with podcasts and Deadhaus and darkness and wonderful, wonderful things.
All beautiful, beautiful things. Now, first things first, get a little bit of the shilling out of the way. Don't forget, anyone that's looking out, you can always check out deadhaussonata.com for a little bit more to get a taster going. You can follow my good buddy here, Calypso, at the Necro Libriatus. I can never pronounce it right. Is it Libriatus?
Yes,
or
it's as far as I know, it's Libriatus, but I believe that the name's been changed a million times officially as well, so that works. So subject to change. TBD.
Libriatus? That's
Libriatus. I also have my regular.
I'm not calling it Liberitas. I'll never get it
Liberitas. Right. No, I'll never get that right either.
You can follow myself on Twitter if you hate yourself that much. And don't forget to follow Deadhaus Sonata at Deadhaus Game. So, my good friend Calypso, for anyone that has never heard of Deadhaus, sales pitch. Go.
Sales pitch. All right. Deadhaus Sonata, a spiritual sequel / successor to Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain, and dark fantasy games in general. You play the dead and you fight the living. It's set in a dark fantasy, grimdark world. The world is in upheaval. Ancient gods abound. The dead are looking to conquer and or get a foothold among the world and just see as things unfold with machinations and everything like that. Dead fight the living, action RPG. Think Diablo meets Warframe meets Bloodborne. And I mean, you got the art here and everything like that. So if that doesn't tickle your fancy, I don't know what will.
Exactly. I just had to update our stream info because apparently it still said I was streaming Dead Cells, and that's not what we're doing tonight. It's Dead something, but not Dead.
Deadhaus, not Dead Cells.
Yeah, close enough. Not
close
really.
Enough.
Not even fucking slightly.
The Dead's in there at least. The Dead's in there at least.
All right. So, Calypso, main question: who are you going to main?
Ooh, I'm personally Vampire. Vampire is
Team
Vampire. I know it's so I guess a generic answer to say, I'm going to main Vampire because I even got a mouse mat and everything for it. So, if you want merch,
but I can't hold it up. I got the large desk mat, but I got the Ruins of Ozkarox.
Yeah, that one's nice. That one's a nice one. But yeah, I think Vampire will be my main because stats wise on the website for Deadhaus, it's very middle of the road. It's going to be, I think, your default starting class. That's a good balance of everything. So I feel that would be a good thing to start off as. So Vampire will probably be my main, but I'm going to pick everyone else too, Banshee will probably be my second.
Well, I don't know what my second would be. I'm probably leaning towards Revenant, although we'll see how the Ghoul goes.
Yeah, the Ghoul looks amazing, so I'm excited for that.
Don't tell Sundown.
Yeah, look at the Ghoul right there. Just look at that thing. That's insane.
I know.
Leg nails all day, baby.
Gotta accessorize because that's the true end game.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Ozkarox. Yeah, no, I think
that's what I have as my little mouse mat.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting the Red Lady one right there, but I don't have. Maybe I'll get it as an art print.
Oh, I would totally. This is all concept art for anyone that's looking. You see, we had old footage and we had old screenshots, but that's all in the bin. It's all gotten way better. It's gotten way cooler, and we definitely. We can't wait for to be able to see screenshots and in-game footage, but this is what we have for now. And that art, seriously, I would get the art prints had I the money and put them.
Oh yeah, I wanna make a post how those collages, how people have those collages of everything is just one giant wall. That's what I want for Deadhaus eventually. All the all the character art in one, all the environment art in another. Welcome, Wyvern Tamer. Hello.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there we go. I can even pull up the chat here. How do I do this here? There we go. Audience messages should display there, and it should show the chat. I don't know why it's not showing the chat, but I can show the chat.
It's I mean, I see the restream thing, and I see it might show up later.
Don't worry. There you go. Why'd you not alert me till you're live? Just now. Yeah. I can't wait for the white.
Yes, I also can't wait for the white. That'll be really interesting.
I'm really looking forward to it because, like, legit, I have no idea even. So it's gonna be something really interesting. Judging by the way they've gone before, like in how all the classes have changed up, it could literally be anything.
Oh yeah, it could be it could be that's the interesting thing to see, because if you actually look into whites and their like background, as from what I recall anyway from reading, there's no given real details on what they are. They're literally just a creature. So you can take that anywhere you want. So far, whites in popular culture, you got Game of Thrones with the White Walkers. You have the Skyrim sort of whites, or I think we talked about this a couple of days ago, like Draugr or something, but they're not actually whites. They're or Draugr, whatever. It's Elder Scrolls kind of thing. So if let's just go with the Game of Thrones thing. If Game of Thrones have popularized what whites look like to that medium, then it'll be interesting to see what the whites for Deadhaus end up looking like, having Game of Thrones been the most popular thing on the planet for the past couple of years, and having that ingrained into everyone's mind of, oh, this is a white, you know.
Yeah. But are they whites or White Walkers? I could never.
Well, I mean, they're white. They're White Walkers. They're White Walkers, but it's the Game of Thrones version of whites. There's just
and hello, Scara.
Oh, welcome. Hey, Scara.
I think it only shows. All right. I'm really looking forward to it. We had a fun discussion on it in the Discord. I know. I seen the wall of text.
Yes. Oh, the walls of text. So yes, feel free to join the Deadhaus Discord. Jump on that as well. You can find everything on the website and everything at deadhaus.com, deadhaussonata.com.
Yep. Hold on. Don't worry. I'll pull you up. There you go. Right there. Check
there
out
we
Deadhaus.
Go. Yes.
So I'm slowly getting used to this. This is what we'll be doing, because we'll be doing this as a weekly podcast, and I'm pretty sure we'll probably have you lot on as guests at some point or another.
Yeah, sometime down the road.
My post of things I found on the white. Oh yes, yes. Hey Calypso, do you want to know something funny? There's people new to Deadhaus that will never get that meme.
I know, and that makes it really sad. It's really sad that Memento Mori just kind of came and went within the community, and then the yes thing kind of died. I do miss the old merch. You're rocking the old sweater that we have, right?
Yeah, limited edition sweater.
Yeah, that's gone now. So the merch that you guys can find, it's the merch that you guys can find on the Streamlabs or the Designed by Humans store for Deadhaus. It's all the updated new stuff. But Mike there's got that limited edition version one of the hoodie.
I think Warframe has one as well, as a t-shirt or a hoodie or something.
Yeah.
There's a few of us that grabbed stuff, but not like it wasn't a whole lot, because it was very early days, but I was like, no.
Yeah, there was an yes t-shirt with the vampire outline or something on it, and I'm so glad it's gone now. Just breaks my heart. I could make one myself, but that's
I have the old vamp shirt and hoodie. Oh,
ooh, yeah.
There's someone getting to splash out at least. Although speaking of which, don't forget Founders Packs, people.
Yes.
Calypso, feel free to plug yours.
Feel free to whenever I eventually mirror this from Mike's stuff and upload it to my YouTube. Feel free to check all those links down below, guys.
Yep, check the links down below. Grab a Founders Pack.
Yep, grab a Founders Pack. You want to support me, you want to support the channel, you want to support Deadhaus in the studios, hit those Founders Packs while you can. Hit the merch store while you can. All of it.
Now, while we're at that, Calypso, it's something I wanted to tease you at, because I know you've done this and you've got quite a bit of experience, dude. Free to play versus pay to win.
Free to play.
You've done a great video on it, but I'd like you to give the summary.
The summary
for anyone that hasn't seen your video. If you haven't, go check out Calypso's video. Right. I'm probably going to link it below as well.
Yep. If you want to check out my YouTube, I have a video on there, free to play versus pay to win. It's like 20 minutes long, and I'm rambling on about Deadhaus and how how that is not pay to win, where there's a bunch of other free to play games that end up being pay to win, where you throw real money in, you get all the good stuff, and then that it's over. The grind is beaten. You can beat everybody because you have the best gear. And with the whole way that Deadhaus is supposed to be approaching their monetization and their microtransactions, because yes, this is a free to play game. There will be microtransactions. You will be using real money if you want, but there will also be in-game currency that you can earn. And with that real money, unlike games that have you buy, the sword that's like 100 stats or something, it's like a 10 level sword versus a 5 level sword or something. For that, most of the Deadhaus stuff is going to be cosmetic. And from what we've seen with the concept art here, that ranges from the cosmetics, there's suggestions on the forums of what people would like to see as cosmetic. So all that stuff is going to be the microtransactions that they use. That's a big if here, if they do end up using microtransactions to get like skills or abilities, they will not be skills or abilities that will improve your gameplay against someone else whenever the forthcoming PvP mode happens way down the line. Right now, this is just player versus environment, but there will be PvP later down the line as well. So if they do end up using microtransactions to have you acquire abilities, depending on what they are, I have no doubt that they will not be like side grades rather than upgrades.
Yeah.
So it won't be a fire sword, crimson sword of fire that makes you 10 times better. You can just you have a choice of getting like the fire sword or getting maybe a shadow sword or something like that. And it's just comparable. So there's some other games that have done the whole microtransaction, free to play
Warframe
thing.
cough.
Warframe cough.
Ian, holy crap! Greetings.
Oh, hey, Ian. Hey. Everyone,
like
Ian
Wyvern going there. It'll be PTF, pay to fashion.
Pay to fashion. Yeah, that's good. They should start using that. we're gonna trademark that from you, Wyvern Tamer.
Yes.
Pay to fashion. So, and I think that's the whole misconception though with free to play games is that they're all pay to win. It's free to play because of that mobile market, because the whole Raid Shadow Legends thing and the whole stigma that has become like casual gaming on phones because they are free to play. A lot of them. It's sad. It's sad to see that that's become like ingrained into the people's brains that anything free to play is automatically pay to win, rather than just cool.
The other part I don't like is what I've seen a lot lately online is people arguing about, oh, that's free to play. It's obviously trash. Even though, while I'm not a huge fan of it, Fortnite is unbelievably successful, right? That
incredibly successful.
Then you take a look at the other ones. Warframe, it is a great game. We've got a lot of actually, I'm fairly certain everyone in the chat right now is a big fan of Warframe as well, including Mr. Ian himself there. Be watching a stream with Raid Shadow Legends on the other monitor. Damn, yeah. Again, more free to play, right? You've got Warframe, you've got Genshin Impact, you've got there's a load of them. What was the other one? Apex Legends was a huge one. Remember that came out of left field?
Yep, and it's still going. It's going stronger than ever.
And there's quite a lot. Like nearly every MMO has pretty much gone free to play at this point because there's far more money to be made in cosmetic microtransactions. Now, some games have ruined it, but then again, there's always one. There's always someone that's going to ruin the idea. EA. But you get the idea. Wow, holy crap.
Jesus Christ.
51 hours in Warframe.
That's like day one. That's like what, day one or year two, Scarra first started?
351. Holy crap. I accidentally peeked at my Warframe hours on the Switch once, and I quickly got out of that menu and didn't want to look at it again. I don't even want to think about what on PS4 or anything like that, because I started on PS4.
No, meanwhile, me with my about 20 minutes to an hour of Warframe.
Don't worry. Holy crap. I had 1,826 hours in Warframe.
Oh my gosh, you guys. I just started in 2017. 2017, you already have 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. Yeah, it's about close.
Still a long time. I know, to us, old boomers and whatnot. Like 2017's just yesterday. But when you think about
Yeah.
it, that's been a while ago now. That's a minute.
Scary to think about. Scary to think about that 2017 was like 4 years ago now. Oh, geez.
I know,
Like,
right?
I think the longest game that I have hours in is Nosgoth, and that game doesn't even exist anymore. I have like,
Technically.
yeah, technically, I have like 800 or 1,000 hours. I think I burned into Nosgoth in the 2 years it was alive or something. Like, man, that's another game. Okay, so Deadhaus fans and Legacy of Kain fans, there's a good chance that you've seen or heard about Nosgoth at least, or maybe
Yes.
even played it back in the day. Okay, that game was, unfortunately, because of Square Enix's handling, became a really terrible money sink that a lot of people poured into tournaments and stuff. It was handled terribly, money wise, but their microtransactions that they had were side grades rather than upgrades, because that game was all about skill, rather than taking like the flying vampire bat ability that made you dive bomb and pick people up and carry them higher into the ground. You can have one where it's the same thing, slightly less airtime, but you do like scratch damage or something over time.
Yeah.
And so it's a side grades versus upgrades, and it was free to play, but it wasn't pay to win because it was all skill based. That's what Deadhaus is going to be. It's skill based, and again, mind you,
Sentinel for the
stages,
win. Ian.
Oh, Sentinel. Yes, Sentinel. Thank you. That was the name. Sentinel. Yes.
There's a man that knows his game right there.
Sentinel is my favorite.
I
freaking
played
clan.
Nosgoth, but I'm just flat out. I sucked at it. I am terrible at squad-based action games like that. I like a lot of them, but oh god, I suck, because I've seen there's that game coming out, Hood, like
Hood, I haven't
Legends and
seen
something or
that.
other. It's based on Robin Hood and all like that, but it's basically a medieval heist game.
That sounds
Kind
awesome.
of payday kind of thing. I'm really looking forward to it, but I'm gonna suck at it. I know I will, because I
That
know
sounds
Bishop has told me, yeah, that'd be cool. Let's play that. I'm like, yeah, cool. Get the wheelbarrow. I'm gonna need carried.
Oh man, no. Yeah. Payday 2 is another one that I sunk a bajillion hours in. Both of those games are great, but yeah, like, oh wow, Hood. I really got to look up that Hood thing because that sounds awesome.
I'll link it to you.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
it's looking pretty cool. It's coming out in like May, I think. I want to say May. Like even on the PlayStation Store, it's like $30. It's coming out on everything.
I gotta check that out. Yeah, I saw the other Ash versus Evil Dead thing that they're trying to do. I hope that comes out and it's good.
That has a very much Friday the 13th kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Because that was a good game at the start, and then between
Friday the 13th,
hacking and everything like that, it kind of turned to shit.
Yeah, there was troubles behind the scenes with that one, I'm sure.
The Scara. I played Rainbow Six Siege with Bishop. We sucked, but we had fun. Awesome. I was blessed with having himself and a good friend join me in Demon's Souls. And we ran through that. That was awesome. But I can hold my own in those games. That's different. But yeah, no, in any of those games, like I can play Destiny.
Destiny became free to play eventually? Didn't they throw out
Destiny 2
for
everybody?
Yeah. I still haven't touched that one, but like I don't know.
That's a whole other mess. That's an MMO thing.
Yeah, but it's like you could even take. Okay, let's take Lord of the Rings. Anybody remember? You remember when Lord of the Rings went free to play, the online mode, and how that blew everyone's minds? Like, whoa, this thing that's been around for years now, it finally went free to play. I thought that meant that Lord of the Rings was losing a huge player base.
Yeah, I thought the same at the time.
And that like there must have been trouble, like they're shutting down the studio or something. No, turns out it's a genius way to get millions and millions of people to jump on that thing, and then you can have you have microtransactions or whatever, but it doesn't alleviate the grind, because that's the whole point of playing an MMO, is like to go for the grind or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So how do you do it? You do cosmetics. You do, character slots or whatever for MMOs. So Lord of the Rings, money-wise, jumped up because of those microtransactions. Yes, it's free to play now, but that doesn't mean it's evil or it's a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, once the microtransactions are done in the correct fashion.
Yeah,
they gotta don't want someone to be able to buy their way to the top from the very beginning. That's going to piss everyone off. But even, did you play Star Wars: The Old Republic?
No, I have not, but
That
I
was
remember
one.
heard about it.
That was one I jumped in on day one, and they went free to play, and it was like, but it was actually a good thing for the game at the time, and they brought in like a cosmetic store, and it
Hmm.
was all just purely cosmetic. And that's why
Yeah.
I didn't mind, because you get to play fashion dress up. So you could buy this really cool stuff and make your character look how you wanted. You could buy player housing. You could get all sorts of kick-ass accessories, but it didn't actually make you any better at the game. Didn't give you an advantage. It was a really good thing, and I enjoyed it. Played it for a little while longer, but it started getting to the point where I kind of stopped and stepped away from MMOs because, like, man, I'm not even going to talk about World of Warcraft. That thing ate a
Mm.
decade. That thing ate a decade from me. That
Yeah, no, the month, the 30 days or whatever that I had in Warcraft were a well spent 30 days, but I will never go back. Like I can't do
oh,
MMOs anymore. I can't do MMOs. Like I love
we
them.
need a
I
WoW
think
killer, though. I think WoW's
yeah,
killing itself slowly,
yeah,
but
pretty
shit.
slowly but surely it's been killing itself. I think since Lich King came out, it's been killing
Shitty
itself.
writing's been killing it. Yeah, I went in and like I was in from vanilla, right? Or
Hmm.
shortly after the launch of vanilla. And I went through my favorite one story wise was Lich King, but I didn't like how they started homogenizing the classes.
Yeah.
And that kind of started falling by the wayside for me. Cataclysm, I played it a lot, but I wasn't as invested. Although it became a social thing for us because we had a guild of people, and most of us were IRL friends. Others were friends we had online, so it was a community thing for us. When we got towards the end of Cataclysm and they announced pandas, I'm just like, I'm done. That's it.
Oh, that's right.
Because
They have Kung Fu Panda now.
I remember one of the devs, and he was the guy that was the singer for the Elite Tour and Chieftains. If anyone remembers that WoW band, he said that the Pandarans were an April Fool's joke, and if the Pandarans ever make it into the game, you know we've run out of ideas.
Oh, geez.
So I
Now they
remembered
have
that,
it.
and when I seen Pandarans, like I'm done. Okay, next.
Time to step away. Time to step away.
Paying money
Well,
for fashion gaming. Well, isn't that something that? There we go. Well, that isn't something I'm afraid of. Yep.
yeah, no, I wouldn't mind it. Like, see, I think that's kind of what separates me from a lot of other gamers or whatever is that, or at least like fan bases
Which
and
are right
gamers
there, Ryan.
and stuff. It's like you can like let's say Deadhouse does become, just fashion simulator with its microtransactions, and whenever like the
With
mod community
outfits
jumps
to
in and
die for.
outfits to
Get it?
die for,
Dun-dun-dun.
literally. But that's good. Like, so what if that does, like, is there really an inherent problem with that? You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
it
will
depends on
people
how the end game is handled and what the idea for the end game is. Now, Warframe, you're just basically an endless loop. There is no like end game, so to speak, and some people are okay with
story wise, is there
that.
an end? Is there an end to
But
Warframe within the story that they're trying to
oh
tell?
yeah, no, there is a finishing point in the story, but they keep adding to it. But you don't necessarily need to have finished the game to get to those points in the story. And if DHS becomes fashion frame, I have no complaints though. My ghoul is going to be a beautiful. Oh, I have no doubt, Ian. But then there's the other side where there's like Monster Hunter. I know they're not a one-to-one comparison, but it's one I've been playing a lot lately. And their end game is a really interesting loop of grinding for loot against ridiculously harder versions of the monsters you've already been facing. And I'm okay with that idea too. Like if
Mhm.
you go for a dungeon, let's say, okay, we'll just throw cards on the table here. Let's say there's dungeons in the game that are like your standard WoW dungeon or Warframe, alert, things like
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah,
Now imagine you get to the end game, and the end game at the moment is just the same thing, only instead of fighting this like king dude, it's like some like ascended paladin. Same thing, just the same guy, ridiculously difficult, more tactics. I'm okay with that idea, but
yeah,
are others?
yeah. That's a good question. And I guess we'll see when it comes out. It's like, as Jack tells it, all the beings in DHS are already beautiful. Yes, but then now we need, golden tresses for the Banshee as a cosmetic item.
Oh, careful!
Um,
Don't mention the banshee. That seems to cause all sorts of hell.
can we please debate how SwarTour's model has no place in free to play?
Well, I
Um,
haven't touched it in years, Scar, so
yeah, I
I
have no
can't tell
idea.
you on how that works.
I have no idea. It's like I would be remiss if that I mean they'll never do it. I think Dennis would rather die than to like have levels be unlockable with money. You have to use real
Yeah.
money to unlock this dungeon or that dungeon
The
or
minute you
whatever.
go pay to win, people will lose their shit. Now, what about ESO's model? ESO gives you everything for free, but you pay for the expansions.
That sounds good to me because it's an expansion. Now, what the expansion adds to the game, however, is debatable on whether that money is well spent or not.
That's the other one. I'm not too sure on how I feel about that. Subscriptions needed, but plus buying expansions. No. You either pay for expansions, or that's WoW's model as well. That's
Yeah,
a terrible idea.
they
WoW, you pay for a subscription and then you pay for the
expansion.
expansions. No. I remember, what game was it? There was one. It wasn't ESO, but it's something similar. It's free to play, but if you pay for the premium subscription thing, you get the currency every month, but the expansions are free.
Wasn't that For Honor? I think, no, maybe I'm thinking of their battle pass
I
system.
know ESO gives you some of them for free, but not the major content updates. Like the Dark Brotherhood one, the Thieves Guild, all of these ones are free if you have the subscription. But the main things like Morrowind and Greymore aren't. You still have to pay for them.
Adventure Quests Worlds.
I stopped playing maybe 5-6 years ago when the marketplace got super messed up. Yep. You get one to free for 50 with huge disadvantages as well. Ouch. Adventure Quest Worlds does something like it might have been that one, Wyvern Tamer. I'm not 100% sure.
Membership
that unlocks
See,
half the game. Yeah.
I think you can, if you handled it well, you can do that technically. I mean, it's not necessarily the best way to handle things, but you could do a subscription based thing if the subscription price is reasonable, as well as the pay for expansions if the price is reasonable. Like let's say the subscription is $30 a month, right? And then the expansions, rather than paying $50 for an expansion or whatever, it's just another $10 or something, because they already have your subscription money every single month for $30 or whatever. So they're getting more money out of you anyway, and all the other people that are doing it, they can charge $10 for an expansion. No big deal. Now it's technically $40. Keep going. I don't know. It's all really up in the air. But
I'm with the idea of the entire game is free, charge for cosmetics. Content shouldn't be gated behind a paywall, but maybe there is something you can buy into. Now, let's say there's a new age added and there's a new house. That should be free to the game. But then to have more character slots to create a new character for that house might cost money. Or maybe you can get like a digital deluxe version for going into that age to give you a ton of cool cosmetic armor or something to get you ready for that age.
Yeah.
You've upgraded yourself, but purely cosmetic.
I could see that. I could see that too. That'd be fine. Then you have that works. That works. Like that's a common thing with a bunch of other games, right? Like you pay for character slots or something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that.
That's kind of like Warframe as well, because Warframe kind of
Yeah.
makes you pay for character slots, so to speak. They're frame slots, but you get the idea.
Yeah. So that's that'd be interesting. Like, what if it wouldn't be interesting? It'd be bad. What if you had if you wanted to play another vampire character, you have a slot for each class.
Yeah.
And you have to pay for each slot for that class. So you can have you start off with 2 base vampires that you can chill with, and then for 3 and 4 vampire you got to pay for it, and likewise with lich or whatever. Do you think that what
I'd be okay with the idea? I was thinking give you 3 character slots and make you pay for more, but I was told that I think people are going to be able to make one of each class for Deadhaus, and then maybe charge after that. I don't know what that is. That's all the guys are saying in Discord.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind,
that would be cool, because then you can't really argue, because even if you join later on and you only want to play as, let's say, the Giants from Giga House or something, you don't have to roll a Deadhaus character. You can roll one of them and then never touch Deadhaus, but you can still participate in the game that way. and you'll
Yeah.
still have your free character slot. So that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine too. That works. It's the other I had something a minute ago. Darn. It escaped me. It'll come back to me in a minute, I'm sure. But character, hold on a minute. Let me get my train of thought. Character slots, characters, vampires, banshees.
You're talking about paying for the third and fourth vampire.
Something like that. Like no. Let's go with your idea. Like you get free character slots for every single class. Banshee, vampire, lich, wraith. Oh, now I remember. Paying to respec your character.
Ooh,
Paying to respec your character.
That depends on how the skill tree is, though.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a tricky one too. So if you're free to play, you have the you can either spend a crap ton of platinum money in-game currency to respec your character in whatever tree you want and whatever skills. Fresh restart with your vampire, right? Back to zero. Or if you want to do it ahead of time and you don't have the real money for it, let's say like $5 or something, maybe like $3, then you use in-game currency, or you can use real money if you don't have the platinum for it to respect your character. So I think that works too. Like it's not the best thing ever, but it's a fine way to do things in a free-to-play market. If you keep it cheap, you got to keep stuff cheap when it comes to this whole free-to-play model, because if things are too expensive, if I'm paying like $20 for one character skin, that's too much money. Nobody will do that.
Definitely. And there we go, Wyvern Tamer. Though if we're going for one character of all the classes, eventually doing 63 dailies will be a difficult thing to do. Scargon, dailies should never be character bound. Yes and no. Question: should there be dailies in Deadhaus? Like, should there be you must do X in order to progress your reputation bar with Y, yada yada? Like,
personally, I never do those. In gaming, I never do those. Like,
I grounded up World of Warcraft, Burning Crusade. There was a point where there was a particular group of orcs that you had to grind out rep with, and you to do that specifically so that when you got to a certain level, you would get a stupid friggin' ethereal dragon. And I done that for ages just to get that damn dragon, because I wanted that friggin' dragon as a mount. Like,
no, see, that's
so
cool.
I am that person. I resented doing it, but I did it.
Yeah. Okay. So if the reward, personally, I don't like doing that in games. I think, it's literally, I have to force myself to do dailies or whatever. If it's a game that I like, obviously I'll do them. But if the reward is good enough, then I will totally jump on dailies. If the reward is good enough, and I wouldn't mind it even being class bound specific dailies, like not there's dailies for every single class. I think that'd just be too insane for everybody. But if week 1 or day 1 is like vampire, day 2 is revenant, day 3 is lich or something, and the reward that you're getting for doing that daily is good enough for that class, like an extra skill token or some cool piece of armor or whatever, then I'm totally for it. Yeah, dailies all the way, baby. But generally, I just tend to stay away from that kind of stuff.
Well, you see, here's the other. Just say there, not to mention slight deviations either left or right on monetization will result in some kind of backlash. Yes, it will. The other side to that is now dailies. I love doing them. Right? When I'm playing the game, I love doing them because, like, you grind it all out and you get some kick-ass rewards. Like, Warframe had some spectacular looking ones, right? But the other side is when you can't, being an adult, and you have to, like, work and do, like, adult shit. I feel resentful that I missed out on something that I don't really have control over. Yeah. So, like, there's intermissions in Warframe where you have to grind up. It's like a battle pass system, right? And you do missions to grind up rep with it. And there was some cool rewards on one of the seasons, but I was working at the time and it was just not possible. And it was, if you take all of them, it would have been my favorite one because it was based on my favorite boy, Nidus. Ian knows what I'm on about if he's still here. That was like really cool cosmetic shit that I missed out on because I just physically couldn't work in the time to be able to log into Warframe and spend half an hour or whatever every day doing it.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't mind on the reverse of dailies, rather than dailies, I wouldn't mind tournament weeks
Yeah.
or something like similar to a tournament or whatever. Nosgoth had some fantastic friggin' tournaments, or grind weeks or whatever it was, to get like super awesome cosmetic armor, and
Hmm.
like prestige stuff. There we go, prestige stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's the one game. Nosgoth is the one game that I literally grinded my butt off to get, the cool looking cosmetic shield so I could show off to everybody.
Oh
I
yeah.
kicked everyone's
That's what
ass
it's
to
all
get this damn
about.
shield. Like that kind of stuff I wouldn't mind for Deadhouse. You know what I mean? Like a full week of, or at least get like 50 kills, or do this specific thing within the week to get something cool. I wouldn't mind that either. So that way it's not necessarily a daily, it's more of a just a short time frame of like, 6 days or 5 days or whatever to get something super awesome. With this
Mm.
specific class though, I wouldn't mind tying it to a specific class, like with the vampire, with the banshee, with the lich. So that way you can get more people playing those classes, getting better with those classes, as well as getting some cool stuff at the end of the day. Maybe
There may
monthly
be a
monthly
month
would
of
be
it.
better
Yeah.
too. Yeah, yeah.
Given
But
it, there shouldn't be such a tight time limit on it though, because like you've got kids with school, adults with work.
hmm
You have to
yeah,
schedule stuff. That's why, like, even for any online game, it's a nightmare. And when do you pick to do maintenance?
yeah.
These things are always a nightmare. But I do think giving a wider window on the stuff to earn is definitely, and
hmm
and the other side being the stuff you earn should also be able to be crap you can just buy in the shop.
Yeah,
No,
that too.
or does that diminish it?
I think
That's the question.
actually, see, okay, let's bring that up. Okay, so let's say you have an entire month. Let's give it a month. You have an entire month to get the flaming sword of fire
Yes.
as some cool cosmetic awesome sword, right? If you win it, or if you end up getting it or whatever, your version of the flaming sword of fire is super awesome. But if you decide to say F that and just buy it in the store with real money for like, $15 or $10 or whatever,
Yeah.
then their flaming sword of fire is a little bit more distinguishable than the ones who actually earned it.
So like, what would you call it? A gilded one versus an epic one, cosmetic
Yeah.
style.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Like
Hey Joel, what's up?
oh hey Joel, what's up? Yeah, something like that. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't like I mean, it kind of, I guess, makes me feel a little bit bad or whatever. Like if I am that guy who grinds my butt off to get, the flaming sword of fire, and it looks awesome and it's got like a big flaming fire thing. And then,
Yeah,
there's some guy who just bought it, but at least I know that I earned mine, and mine is a blue fire sword, but and his just like a regular red fire sword. Thanks for that
exactly.
suggestion. Yeah. Something like that. Like it's a little bit disheartening, but at the same time, mine looks cooler. So, haha, like you paid money, I wasted my life while you just spent real money.
That's what I remember. The first time they introduced paid stuff into WoW, one of them was like the Celestial Steed thingy. It was a sparkly
See,
flying
that
horse
sounds
thingy,
rad.
right? But people were getting crapped on because they bought it. So, like, if you've seen someone riding it, because you want to show off in the cities and stuff like that, hey, look at this cool thing I just got. There was like certain levels of resentment. Now, I don't know whether they're mocking people because they bought them, or whether, because like this is
Mhm.
stupid, or whether they were mocking them of, oh, look, you're guilty of contributing to the microtransactions. So you see, that's the other aspect. Because if it's just contributing, giving out to people for doing the microtransactions, no one's going to do that in a free to play because they know it's got to make money somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the whole, people are going to go into this thing, expecting some kind of microtransactions because it is free to play. It's just what kind of microtransactions are there going to be, or like
Yeah,
how are people going to just, I guess, look everything over and accept it and stuff like that. And then you also get a little variants. Yeah, variants are always
so
cool.
Some people actually like plain Jane swords without effects, but totally not me. And then Wyvern Tamers, and then you'll get the fun variants where someone prefers the lesser version for fashion purposes.
That's true. So they're all viable options. It's not that it's not a viable thing, but I totally want to grind for a flaming sword of fire that has like a cool blue flame.
If there isn't a crimson sword of fire in that game, I'm going to be very
I'm going to be very disappointed. I'm going to be very disappointed if there's no crimson sword of fire. I'll be super disappointed.
Glorious.
Like, I do hope that they eventually, even though we may never get horses or mounts as pets, if there's not horse armor, if there's not like some sort of jokey horse armor thing that's free, it's got to be free first off. It's like, give me horse armor, and then everything will be right with the world.
Oh, there has to be some type of mounts at some point. For something. I don't know how that would work because we don't even know what the travel system is like. But even something like the loading screens in Warframe, like they're your ships, so you can customize the ship and how it looks and stuff. So the loading screens going in, you can like make them do the little dance when you're going into the loading screens and shit. That at least gets you to show off more cosmetic stuff.
Yeah, and there's going to be a little hub worlds for players and stuff. I think that's already been confirmed that we're going to have like our own little...
Some kind of social areas anyway.
Yeah.
Like I think we got one coming up here now in a minute. Over here is the room with the red lady.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an area, if I recall. Oh, yeah, no, Banshee, I love the Banshee. And then the Ghoul is in... Oh, man. Yeah, Sundowner is right in simping for the Ghoul. Definitely.
Yeah.
And then the Lich is really sweet. I think I don't remember if you were there. Were you there when we were talking about the Lich in the Discord the other day? How like
there we go.
Zoom in, there we go. There's the red lady.
That's going to be like a social hub. But go on.
Yeah. How we analyzed like the Lich art, and if you zoom in on the Lich's face in the artwork, it looks like he's sort of fused with his armor. Like it's part of his face. Like the helmet is literally just his skull. And like pointy skull stuff. It's awesome. It's awesome. I wouldn't mind that for like cosmetic stuff either. Like if there's like a flesh and bone Hellraiser kind of look for like a Lich or something, look like Frank in the first Hellraiser movie where he's just flesh, grafted to skin or something, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet. Yeah.
I definitely get some of that. You can get that vibes off the Ghoul. Definitely.
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally.
All right. I think we're going to call it there. Hopefully this has gone off without a hitch.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget, for anyone that doesn't know, although I doubt it already, but anyone listening later, check out deadhausesonata.com to check out more. You can follow Calypso there at the Necrolibreatus.
Yes.
On Twitter. And you can follow myself on Twitter at The Faceless Mike. Why you'd want to punish yourself, I do not judge. And also on Twitter, follow Deadhaus Sonata at Deadhaus Game. And Calypso, when are we going to be back again doing this, do you think? We're going to try and make this weekly, yeah?
We're going to try to make this weekly sometime around Tuesday, maybe Thursday again. Maybe next Thursday again for these little podcasts.
And we will try to keep them as regular as possible, and we will be able to talk next week about the white.
Yes, that will be something. That's something I'm looking forward to. Definitely.
I know Wyvern Tamer is, because that's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah.
I'm even excited because like every character so far has been completely out of left field.
Oh yeah, I don't even know where they're going to take it. Like I thought the vampire was going to be totally different than the vampire that we got, and it's
Thursday would be better right after a reveal. You see, that's the theory, Scara, but we're working on people's schedules here, so depending on when myself and Calypso, and who knows, we might get a Wyvern Tamer on for their thoughts. Especially as someone who has been waiting this entire time. And the one class they decided they wanted to play ended up being the very last class ever revealed. So that's been a long wait. Actually, Wyvern Tamer, would you be interested in coming on next week? Yeah, that'd be fun. Cool. I think we're calling that a All right, guys, we shall catch you all later. Thanks for
Yep.
dropping into our lovely little attempt at a stream. And we're hoping to keep this going because when Deadhaus comes out, we are going to be min-maxing everything.
Oh, totally.
We're going to see if we can get in Varric for a bit of speed running action, the same with Sailor, getting some advice, getting some secrets, and who knows, maybe we'll be able to get some Deadhaus guests on.
That'd be interesting.
All right, guys, so catch you later. And as always, fight the living.
Fight the living, everyone.
See you.